Alright, we are going to start. I'm also going to turn down that music just a smidge on my side, because for some reason it blasts my ears out. Welcome, y'all. That chat is not high enough up, I don't think. Chat box needs to go higher. As you can see, I've made some changes to the layout. Hopefully it's an improvement. Should be for the most part. At this point, I'm trying to figure out a great place to put the chat. And I'm thinking, realistically, I'm going to remove last hunt and the text for it. Yeah, that's visible for most people, I think, maybe. But hopefully the changes are good and it looks better for everybody else. I mean, it definitely looks better for myself. It seems more uniform, so I'm happy with it. Just making sure mic is on and up to good to go. Awesome. Let's get into it. It's also my hope that the aspect ratios are on point. I believe they should be. I feel like they're 1/4 ratio, so they should be like, what is it? I forgot what the dimensions were. Possibly, but I don't think I'm much help with those raids. I failed miserably and have not yet figured them out myself. I haven't even had time to research what good builds are. I've heard Austin John Plays put a video out, but I tend to steer clear of those until I got mine out so that I don't copy somebody knowingly. Hello, Aaron. Welcome. You're gonna farm the item to make Ursalunas, huh? So they made it so that we could evolve Ursaluna in Scarlet and Violet then, it seems. Maybe? I didn't think you could use items in Pokemon Home. Unless that's a recent update change. Oh, gotcha. You managed to catch Mewtwo? That's awesome. I still yet to even really attempt the raids. You're playing Wind Waker? That's a fantastic game. Oh, I got you, Aaron. Oh, that's mighty nice of you, spending the time to do that. Got ankles turned to dust. Yeah, absolutely. I remember recommending Wind Waker, Shiny Gamer. Always will recommend Wind Waker. Hey, Rana. Welcome. So I do gotta ask, is the stream better than it was last time visually? Does it look better? Are the improvements worth it? It's Kevin. Fair enough. I probably will not remember that because the name does not say that. But I will do my best. You like the old one? With just the lines down the middle of the screen? Hello? That one was hideous. Yeah, it wasn't bad, but... Hey, you're welcome, Kevin. So much useful information now. I bet, you know, trying to do it when the raid first comes out, it's pretty difficult. But after a day or two, it should be manageable. I have not seen or know anything about that reference there, Brock. Oh yeah, my pleasure, Lid. Oh, Aaron, I am going to solo it, but I'm going to solo it with myself 4 times. Just because I want to see if I can do it. Basically, I'm going to run 4 switches similar to this, all doing the same raid. Oh, with my stream, so much useful information now. I mean, I feel like the information was there, just not as organized. I like the subscriber edition, so it shows the latest activity on the channel. I think that's cool. Which legendary mons are you talking about, Kevin? Easy peasy gonna lurk, thanks for the luck. Oh, while opening packs. Is that something you stream or just do for funsies? I have cloned myself to jump the Clone Lord, yes. Just for funsies, okay. Oh, yeah, in Legends Arceus, they're all shiny locked. Basically the opposite of the movie. Yeah, pretty much. You've been watching a bunch of Pokemon What If scenario. Those could be fun. I'm digging the fact that I finally went and tracked down animations. I started off with Darkrai in the stream being visible, but I think it was just too much information. You cannot get multiples, so like if you catch Mewtwo once in Ramona's Park, that's it. That's all you get. In Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl in Ramona's Park, they are not shiny locked. You can shiny hunt them to your heart's content. As far as I know, in BDSP, the only Pokemon that are shiny locked are Mew and Celebi. Or sorry, Mew and Jirachi. The ones that you get from the old couple. And I can't remember right off. I feel like it is possible to shiny hunt the starters. But that could be bad information because I feel like they locked them down just due to Scarlet and Violet and Sword Shield not being huntable. But I think keeping to the original games, they made them huntable. Okay, easy peasy with the confirmation that you can. Hunted starter Piplup. throw Kevin into a black hole. That should be enough. Oh gosh. No. Let's not yeet our streamers into the abyss. Or our viewers into the abyss. That would not be bueno. I got a cat we can use. I hear those are good for rituals. My cat's frankly pissing me off. It has a habit of just like spontaneously meowing because it's like nervous or whatever. But it also likes to be in the baby's room. And the baby likes to be in the room sleeping. So we go to check on the baby, the cat follows us in and just nervous meows the entire time it's in there and wakes the baby up. Pisses me off. I think minions might be indestructible. What Pokemon would I like to see a branch evolution of? I do know I have an answer for this one. I just need to think of what it is. And like the saddest part is, I know I have an answer for that one. Like I know there's been a few Pokemon where I've sat there and thought, you know, I wish this would diverge into something else. A third Clamperl evolution with a couple of new evolutions. I think we need an Eevee copycat. And what I mean by that is Eevee follows a pretty established pattern of being special attackers as they were presented in Generation 1 and 2. I feel like physical attackers need their representation in another creature entirely. Like, don't get me wrong, I'd be happy if Eevee got it every type evolution. I think that's something that could be done, but I think it might be better to have a counter Eevee as a different type of Pokemon, like more of a reptilian-like creature. That branches into these different physical types. Yeah, I'm working with the new layout. Hopefully it's better. I've been told by one viewer that by Lightning Gold that the old one might have been better, or somebody. I don't know if it was them. No, it wasn't Lightning Gold. He was commenting on it, but somebody else was saying the old one was better. Shiny Gamer said the old one was better. Yeah, I like it. I think it looks good. If I had more room, I would display the last shiny hunt that was completed successfully. But I need to change some text colors, because I think there's just way too much information going on. I typically don't ban people, so that's good. Dean's over there in my mod channel catching up on the updates to the stream. I posted this in my moderator channel first, asking for feedback on how it looked. I would love a Corefish Evo. That could be cool. I feel like a Bellsprout evolutionary line could be cool. That, you know, involves it not turning into a giant fruit and losing its legs. Just like... I'm thinking of like a combination between Bellsprout and Majora's Wrath, or Majora's Wrath. You know, just a vine dancer. Just has, you know, kind of like Grimmsnarl, but grass. Has vine tentacles that it can throw at people and slap them with. Maybe a grass Deoxys looking thing, but with Bellsprout. If that's helping us narrow in on what I mean by the look. Carnivine evolution. That could work. I personally hated Carnivine, but that's because it's Gen 4 and I am Genist against Gen 4. Oh. I know what Pokemon needs a split evolution. Cacnea. Love Cacturn. But I want a fighting type cactus. First gen, best gen. I think Generation 3 is peak, personally. Kingsguard over on Twitch. What? Hey. We'll check our posture. We'll even do a nice back crack. Hopefully that was audible. Because that felt amazing. Miltank variant. I don't want a Miltank variant. I just want a Miltank Taurus pre-Evo split. That's what I want. Pre-Evo of Unknown, where it's just an I. I want regional forms of Unknown. I want Katakana or Hiragana Unknown. Like, why in Pokemon Gold and Silver and Crystal, when they were originally making Unknown, did they, of all things, go with American letters? It just seems absurd to me. Japanese Pokemon company using English letters for their game. I mean, obviously, it's planned to be a worldwide release, so they kind of had to make it romantic languages, because we all use the same letters, and it makes it easy to communicate, all that fun stuff, but I wish they would have... And maybe it just would have been too hard for Katakana or Hiragana, just because those are definitely weird symbols. Also, I said that I was going to be doing a stream for Pokemon Colosseum and or Pokemon Emerald in Japanese. Well, I have the games, I have the materials that I will need to do this. I will, however, have to use flashcards. I'm going to make some flashcards so I can at least see what the symbols mean. I won't have any idea what the words mean. So I'm going to see if I can use this to help me learn some Japanese and whatnot. It's Japanese, but written in English form because of the way the text box works. So I think it'll help me separate words a little bit. So it's going to be Pokemon Emerald or Pokemon Colosseum, except I can't read yet. Oh, we're getting another posture check, huh? Collab with Light? Say what now? You mean like Light, the one on Twitch that does the strategies and whatnot? Favorite mythical, hands down, Marshadow. If it's who I'm thinking of, I am very well aware of Light. As initially, I'm the one that kind of taught him how to run bots. Slash have helped out with the bots that he uses on occasion. Yeah, I've worked with him on things here and there. It sucks that Marshadow wasn't the third legendary. It sucks that Marshadow was an event. It took me forever to get my hands on that thing. I wish it was Markiplier. I do like me some Markiplier. I wonder if they will release it, because there are a few shinies that have been around for ages that they haven't released yet. And I'm starting to wonder if they ever will. Like, with Sword and Shield. Releasing Victini during that giveaway would have been amazing, but instead they just gave us a basic Victini. I'm so excited to play through some Generation 3 games, guys. Like, you have no idea. Like, as great as Generation 8 and 9 have been, like, I am ready to get into some Gen 3. Like, I have done so much research on everything that can be done in those games. All of the intricacies of the e-reader cards, down to figuring out how I can print my own. I'm going to start working on that this weekend since I have a longer weekend. I'm going to see if I can get it to work, print out some e-reader codes. That's like, I got an e-reader that I have on order, so that should be here pretty quick. Like, I'm just so excited to be able to mess around with some of the stuff that I have going on. Discord link doesn't work. Say what? Beat the hardest challenge on Hollow Knight. Awesome, awesome. Definitely gonna be balling with the Metagross, I can tell you that right now, because like I cannot resist. If it's in the game, I have to have it on my team. I am probably going to be seeking a Feraligatr as well, because Totodile has my heart. I don't know. I've stayed kind of out of the news for Scarlet and Violet's DLC. Like, I haven't really paid attention to what Pokemon are available. I think Poltergeist is a must. I'm interested in the legendary monkey. Kingsguard is in. Welcome. Well, Brock, I doubt either one of those are going to happen, but I do like the idea. Like, realistically, we do get to catch a second one of those Pokemon anyways for core item Miraidon, so we can move them. Abby! I don't know how I missed your chats up there earlier, but welcome. Oh, yeah, true, true. Like, at the very least, make it so you can transfer them, like, swap them places. Have the one you catch at the end of the game be your, what's it called? Your mount, while you transfer the one that's been your mount the entire game to, like, Pokemon Home or something. Oh gosh, Mr. Schwirtles, like, I sincerely wish you the best of luck in that endeavor. That sounds brutally painful. I don't even remember Pokemon Conquest, unfortunately. Give us a Cyclozar Evo that could be a replacement. That seems like it would be a good idea. Realistically, I'm surprised Cyclozar doesn't have an evolution. Hey, Avery, I'm doing well. How about yourself? Oh, is there really? On a Saturday? I thought those were normally on Sunday. What's the Pokemon that's blessing us with its presence? Charmander. Okay, you know I'm gonna have to participate in that somehow, some way. Although I do work, so I think I might be teleporting to New York for that. Yes, it does, Avery. The better question is, how did you get your XD save file to PK Hex? Do you have a modded GameCube? Yeah, I spoof sometimes. Modded Wii, okay. Yeah, I was gonna say, somehow you had to get your GameCube memory card onto an SD card to insert into a computer. We would do it too. I'm getting ready to mod one of my GameCubes that I have here so that I could do that very same thing. Even though I already have a modded Wii, I just wanted to do it on the GameCube organically, so... Modded my 3DS. I had a modded Wii U at one point. I got an R4 card for my DS Lite so I can mod Game Boy Advance games. And I have a attachment for my computer on the way that will allow me to plug cartridges directly into my computer for generations 1 through 3 of Pokemon. So that's going to be fun to mess with. Oh yeah, Avery, totally modded the 3DS before. Oh, the Game Boy Micro, that pitiful little thing. Not a fan of it. I actually have some stuff planned coming down the line for... I'm going to do a video on modding a GameCube. I'm going to do a backlit Game Boy Advanced, a backlit Game Boy Color, and a backlit Game Boy Original. All modding related things, because those are fun. Yeah, if you spoof, you can get banned. However, I'm not really too concerned about it. Avery, I cannot make a video on how to mod a Nintendo Wii, unfortunately. Not without buying an entirely new Wii, because Wiis are one of those things that once you mod, you don't really unmod, you know? Like, it can be done, but it ain't easy. Arsante, it's going great. How are you? So, like, I would have to put in a lot of work and effort to unmod my Wii and then turn around and just mod it again. And it took me forever to get it working the first time anyways, so not sure I really want to do that. Brock's channel, that is no controversial opinion. That is the absolute gospel truth. Generation 3 on the Game Boy Advanced was the literal best. Generation 5 comes close, but there's just something aesthetically pleasing about the Game Boy Advanced games. Will I remember you want to get famous? As long as you don't change your name, probably. I still remember viewers from when I had 10 subscribers. So, like, I don't forget people. I remember interactions better than names. But when people change their names on YouTube, it really messes with me. And they'll come in and chat and bring up old stuff. And it's like, who the heck are you? Oh yeah, I've played the Gen 3 remakes, totally. Still not as good as the originals. Yeah, that's true, Avery. It's not as reliable, obviously, but yeah, you just need 2 light sources for the Wii remote to, like, pinpoint where it's at. Name become one with the void. Well, right on, Avery. School's good. Yeah, basically, I'm gonna go through a Pokemon quest where I beat every single Pokemon game with 100% Dex. And to do this, I need to hook my cartridges up to my computer so that I can get the items in the game that are necessary to complete this. So in the end, I will have a 100% legit Pokemon collection. However, the means by which I get that isn't exactly legit. Like, got a Hacking an Eon ticket, an Aurora ticket, a Mystic ticket, a Old Sea map, but really, the Pokemon are already in the game. I just gotta use those items to get to them. The Generation 5 ones are the ones that are gonna cause me some issues, because, like, you can spoof the Generation 5 giveaways and events using your computer over Wi-Fi and IP addresses. I just don't know if it gives away a PK Hex version or if it gives away more of a legitimate Pokemon, if that makes sense. Like, what I mean by that is if the Pokemon were already programmed into the game and it spoofs the event that unlocks them, or if it's more that the Pokemon isn't even there to begin with and it just trades it to you through the Mr. Gift platform. I don't know. Oh, somebody else is named Brass. That's very interesting. I have not seen that name pop up, although I haven't looked for it either, so... Yeah, you can. Actually, with Pokemon Coliseum and Pokemon XD Gale of Darkness, those two games are actually required to complete the national dex in Generation 3. Specifically, you must have Pokemon Coliseum for sure, because that's the only way you're going to get Cyndaquil, Totodile, and Chikorita on your copy of the game, because they aren't in Fire Red Leaf Green or Ruby Sapphire Emerald, to my knowledge. I think I'm level 35. Let's see. Brass Gaming, but he had to change his name and you can't find him anymore. Well, I'm glad he changed his name, because, like, this is my name now. Yeah, to complete the Generation 3 Pokedex, you need 2 Game Boy Advances, a Game Boy Advance link cabled, a GameCube, a GBA to GameCube cable, Pokemon Ruby, Sapphire, Leaf Green, XD Gale of Darkness, Pokemon Coliseum, and the Coliseum bonus disc. I would argue you also need Pokemon Fire Red, but I could be mistaken on that one. You also don't need 2 Game Boy Advances, as, well, yeah, I would say go for it. All the version exclusives from Fire Red can be obtained through other means. Interesting. So yeah, it's a fortune to beat that dex. And I'm going to take it a step further. I'm even going to capture Celebi in the games as well, because Gen 3 in Japan could get Celebi. I do not Pokemon RNG manipulate because I suck at that, unfortunately. I am not good at the RNG, but I have RNG'd one time. I've heard of it. But hey, when someone can do that, I have a hard time calling it jury rigging, because, like, that's talent. It's kind of similar to the guy that made the Game Boy games playable on the Super Nintendo through their own cartridge, but also installed in them the trade properties in order to just plug a cable directly into the freaking cartridge itself. That's crazy. Heck yeah, I know what a Game Shark is. Do I look like I'm under 15 years old? You couldn't play Pokemon back in the day without one of those. Too much fun could be had. Walking through walls, cheating items into your game. That was the best. I remember the Game Shark. Arguably speaking, though, Action Replay was better. Oh, no, Avery, that wasn't rude. That was just me being... I'm close to 30 years old, like... I remember them well. Game Genies, Action Replays, Game Sharks. I've used them all. What I really want out of Nintendo or somebody, Brock, is I want the ability to have an attachment that transforms our DS games into Switch games. You know, just an adapter, just plug, click, you know, and I want to be able to stream the DS games without having a janky camera sitting over top of my DS. That having been said, I think I found a way. I found somebody selling a capture card install for the new 3DS XL, and I can still purchase it. I just didn't have the funds at the end of the month because I spent a crap ton of money on other stuff this month. Getting ready for some shiny hunts and other game content and stuff like that. I have not yet done that, Arsante. Only if you have the appropriate cable, Avery, which I used to have an Action Replay. I lost my cable, so I tossed my Action Replay away, I think. No, I'm not talking about like an official Nintendo process. I'm talking about somebody just developing an attachment, because really it's just contacts. Like, this contact goes here, that contact goes there, and maybe there needs to be a user interface for it. I don't know. Like, I figure DS games can't be that much more, like, different than Switch games. You'd be surprised, though. But surely with a modded Switch, it could be done. Just tell the Switch to... Like, I can emulate DS games on my modded Switch if I so desired. I just don't like playing emulators, and I'd rather play the physical cartridges because I trust them more for reliability's sake. I don't think I tossed it. I think it's... I tossed it in a long forgotten tote because I couldn't bring myself to throw it in the trash. But I know I've looked for a cable for it before and just can't find one. I have collected Pokemon cards. I do have a small Pokemon card collection. I gave most of them to my nephew, but I do still have some. A lot of good ones. Have a Mega Gardevoir. That one's pretty cool. Yeah, action replays sell for quite a bit of money. Like, don't get me wrong, it's still used. Well, I think I tweaked out the action replay and it needs an update because I plugged it into my DS and it was working for me for a little while, like a couple months ago. And then it started just giving me a black screen of death every time I plugged it in. So that was big sad. I have 5 Pokemon decks that I use. My main one is a Dark Fairy deck. My second one is a Ghost Poison deck. I don't remember what my other 3 are, though. The thing about fake Pokemon games is yes, they do save, or else they'd be unplayable. However, the problem with them is you never know when they're not going to save, and you're going to freak out the game and corrupt your save file. It's not that they don't save, it's that they easily corrupt, because what happens with hacked Pokemon games is Nintendo games, you know, the little cartridges, especially before the DS, and so we're more specifically looking at Game Boy Advance, Game Boy Color, and Game Boy games. Sometimes their little cards weren't strong enough themselves, or the system wasn't strong enough itself, so on the game cartridge they put different tech to help run the game better. So it's kind of like sticking a stick of RAM into your computer to help out your motherboard and your processor process everything. It's like that, in a sense, from what I've gathered. And when they rip the data off of those cartridges, they can pull all of the data off, but when it puts it back on, it doesn't exactly put that data back in the right spot. Save files are one thing. You can pull a save file, push a save file back in, but the actual like structure of the game, the game's coding, doesn't always go back where it needs to go. And that's the problem with cracked games or reproductions. They don't always get the information where they need to go. So when you try to save, the process doesn't complete, or it works, but then the game forgets where it needs to go to retrieve it. A whole bunch of things like that. For the most part, though, reproductions do work. GameStop used to sell them, but I think they stopped accepting trades on those games this year, actually. Which is funny, because, like, they can make a fortune doing them. Problem is, they don't train their employees to spot the fakes. So there was a lot of trouble that GameStop was getting into with people trading in reproductions and they not realizing them and charging, you know, full price to their consumers for reproductions, and that doesn't make Pokemon fans happy. And I'm aware of DK oldies. They're really expensive. They make GameStop look like a freaking pawn shop. Or rather, a Goodwill. Thrift store, that's the word I'm looking for. I can go get a GameCube on eBay for 110 bucks. DK Oldies, 180. Take it or leave it. It's like, dang, that's a markup if I've seen one. But here's something I'm super excited about, and something that's more of a flex for me in a weird way, like kind of more of an obsessive kind of way. If I get the purple GameCube or the indigo GameCube, I will have one of every of the 4 main colors. So like, I just off screen here, I got the orange one from Japan so that I could play the Japanese games. I got my silver one at my feet that I've been playing recently. I got a black one that I can mod, and I want to get an indigo one just for the sake of being complete. And not only that, but I also have like the old school GameCube LCD screen attachment, but it's in, I think it's either black or indigo. I feel like I bought it in indigo, and I can't deal with that just not matching the rest of my stuff, but if I'm lucky, it'll be black. So like, there's just a small part of me that's like, okay, I'm just gonna have 4 of those for kicks. Wii Fit for $3, of course, of course. With a demo of Metroid in it. Brock? That might actually be a thing. Unless it only had the demo of Metroid in it, which that would be really unfortunate, but like, I seem to recall them doing crap like that. Out of curiosity, if you still have that, when you hold it up to the light and the light shines through it, is it got a reddish hue to it, or is it completely black? Enlightening, that is actually a great call out. I think I might have to stop by a pawn shop on my, like, one of these days and see if I could find a cheaper new 3DS XL than what I'm finding on Facebook Marketplace or eBay, because like, I'm going to tear it apart for a video. Luckily, if you have a Pokewalker, Gen 4 is super easy to detect if it's a fake, because if it connects to a Pokewalker, it's not a fake. Avery, because I want to be able to stream 3DS games on this channel, especially when I get down towards that with my 100% Pokedex collection stuff that I want to do. I need a way to stream 3DS games, which in turn will do all DS games, but I have to install a capture card into my system directly. I could, in theory, do it over Wi-Fi with the 3DS games, but for some reason when it switches to regular DS games, it runs a different program code, and I cannot run the Wi-Fi export of the video and audio. So I'm gonna try learning some stuff. If that's Pokemon Sun and Moon, yes. But for some reason, that abbreviation seems really familiar for not Pokemon Sun and Moon. It couldn't fit into your DS, but it fits your 3DS? Yeah, that's a big red flag. Yeah, I will be installing the 3DS capture card myself. I'm not too shabby at soldering. But I think this one only had like 2 things I had to solder, and they weren't even complex, so... Question is if I can find the stupid thing again. Oh, yeah, that's why that's familiar. Yeah, I'm aware of that. I just have no need of it because I can just pop out my SD card at will and mess with it on the computer, and it's so much easier. Oh, that's unfortunate. Sorry your laptop bit the dust. Also, it feels like I've been streaming for about 2 hours, but my timer says only 1. I'm inclined to believe it, but I started at 11. It just feels like it's been longer. And maybe that's because I can stream until 1, go to bed, and still get 8 hours of sleep before work tomorrow. Maybe you need to clean the charging port. Could be, could be. Lots of things can go wrong with laptops. I've been having a lot of fun messing with stuff like my Game Boy Advance SP. I went snowboarding I went snowboarding with my Game Boy Advance in my pocket because I'm an idiot, and I was like 13. And, like, I crashed so many times, and it was fine. But somehow, I got a little bit of water under the screen at one point, and, like, it froze. So, I had cracked pixels in the shape of icicles going down the screen in, like, 3 places. It was the most bizarre thing I've ever had happen. But, in the long run, I just replaced that screen, and it's looking beautiful. I also recently bought a new back, or a replacement back, to my Game Boy Color, so my original Game Boy Color is beautiful. And I bought a back replacement for my old school Game Boy, so that's pristine. Looking forward to doing a video on restoring it, getting it back to its normal colors with vinegar and baking soda. That's going to be fun. I also bought some replacement screen covers so that I can pop those out and, you know, put on non-scratched ones from the years in my pockets, so I can put them on a shelf and have them be looking mighty nice. But yeah, it's been a lot of fun for me to tear some of these things apart, look at them, see how they work, and put them back together. I've had a lot of fun with it. And a lot of times, Avery, like if they're older than 4 years and a laptop's having issues like that, my advice would be to replace it. Like, I don't mess around with that stuff. Like, if it ain't working right and it's a laptop, it's done. It's toast. Granted, I can't do that with mine because mine's a spendy laptop. had your laptop for 2 years, I think it would be worth getting it fixed at that point then. Just generally with things like that, they want to charge you like half the cost of a new laptop anyways to fix it, and I'm just like, I'll just buy a new laptop, it'll be fine. Because I'm that person. I would definitely I would change shiny Regice. Like, that thing would be a white-ish blue, like have more white streaks through it. I would definitely change Espeon's shiny. I feel like that one needs a deep purple. I think I would change Goldango for sure, because that thing's terrible. I would probably alter Swamperts. Like, Pink Boy is cool, but I feel like an albino one would have been preferable. Like, I don't know, just something about the pink bothers me. I love it, but it still bothers me a little bit. Hey, Kingsguard, you have a great night. Nidoqueen's shiny I would also change, because there's absolutely no reason why Nidoqueen should have been done dirty like that and turned to a vomit green instead of the Nidoran pink. Like, Nidoking got the Nidoqueen blue. Why did Nidoqueen not get the Nidoking's pink? Like, that just bothers me. Brown Mudkip. I could jive with that. I would definitely change... Oh, Finizen looks different enough. Tauros. Paldean Tauros, I would definitely change that. I would make Palkia's a more obvious pink. Palkia is pretty hard for me to tell. Hey, you have a good night, Avery. I would change Galarian Slowbro shiny, because I am disappointed that we get a nice golden Slowpoke and then it evolves into whatever the crap that pink monstrosity is. Like, I think they should retain that golden splendor. Yes, it easily could, Lightning. Like, that's the reason why I think it should change, is like... It was too subtle. It goes from like a white pearl to a pink pearl, but like Palkia is already pretty pinkish white anyway, so Like, they could have accentuated the red a little bit more. Make it a darker pink. Umbreon's shiny is perfect in every single way. Garchomo needs a update as well. Oh, there's so much I would change with the Samurott line. Oh my gosh. Samurott should be bipedal. You know, I'm saltier than a bag of french fries about it that it's not. Saltier than a bag of classic Lay's chips. That's pretty darn salty. Listen, Blastoise wasn't even that far-fetched of a change from Wartortle. Like, that made sense. I am genuinely curious, though, on if my shiny Giratina is going to pop up on the top left switch again, because the bottom right switch is the only other switch that has had a shiny on it, and that was Palkia, because it's Pearl. It couldn't appear on Diamond. Without exception, though, the other shinies I've hunted have all appeared on Diamond, and I have dual hunted them all, except for Cresselia. So basically what that means is Shaman and Darkrai both happened on the Diamond copy and nowhere else. Your patience is over now, so to attempt the no. Oh wow. Good luck. You're gonna need all the luck you get, I imagine. Like, I just remember my no damage boss runs of the N64 Zelda bosses, and some of those were horrendous. Come to think of it, I think I still need to do some work on Twilight Princess. Oh, Mag Mortar looks absolutely horrendous in the games. Mag Mortar is fugly. Hey, you have a good one. I'm actually going to be wrapping it up here in the next 9 minutes, I think. You lost on the 5th boss. Understandable. Out of 42. That's just absurd. Like, you lost as in died, or you lost by you got hit one time, so you had to start over? You got hit. Hit. Oh, I know what I can do. I can unhide those. I can just shrink the chat. Oh, maybe not. Alright, and that makes an even 2,300, so we are going to end the stream right there and continue it probably same time tomorrow. Thank you guys, and I'll catch you guys